us today.
You're welcome.
Coming into your sophomore year here, had a good freshman year last season here at King. How have things been different early on this year? You've been to a couple tournaments and then host one here on Saturday.
Well, last year I started off at 141, and I didn't have to make a certification process. This year I was a little bigger. I grew over the summer, so my certification process took longer. So I had to weigh in a little bit lighter than 149 and also 49. And NCAA has rules where you can only lose so much weight a week. So I wasn't at 41 for a long time, and last weekend was the first time I made it. Didn't have a very good tournament, but expecting this week to go a little different.
Yeah, early in the season there's always areas to improve,
Yep.
for sure. Can you talk about just how grueling the beginning of the season is? The fall for wrestling is mainly open tournaments, and then you get into duels in the spring once we switch semesters here. How grueling is that, going from tournament to tournament every weekend, and then facing maybe 10 matches a weekend?
It is pretty tough. As a freshman, it was definitely a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. But this year, you're used to it, and if you lose earlier in the day, you really got to realize, you know what, I can do this. I can wrestle 5 more matches in a day. I've already done it in practice, so I mean, it is hard, but you got to do it to win. So.
And what are some of the things that maybe you do in the week of preparation, or even before that, prior to the season, to get ready for a grueling day like that, and just fight your way through?
So, for open, I'm usually going to be 10 pounds over the week for 5 days before. So making weight isn't too hard. I just got to make sure I'm not cutting the weight bad, and I'm healthy. I'm hydrated. You can still cut the weight and be hydrated. So that's a big deal. If you have a bad weight cut and you're going to have to wrestle 6 matches, it's definitely not going to go very well. If I only have like 3 days, then it's going to be a lot harder.
Yeah, it starts way out in advance, I'm sure. I'm going into this weekend. First home event here. The King Open on Sunday starts at 9 a.m. How nice is it going to be not to have to travel and face that grueling schedule on an open tournament?
That's a really big deal, because when you're cutting weight, it's real hard it's like when you're traveling, you're going to want to eat and stuff. So last weekend was a 13-hour drive, and that's a big deal. That's an extra 13 hours that we get to rest and cut weight and relax. So it'll be a big difference, I think, for myself.
And then, what are your expectations going into Sunday, and how do you think the team will perform here at home? Excited to be here in the Student Center, I'm sure.
I expect to win that tournament. Last year I took 7th at 49, so I'm trying to win it this year. But we should have a lot of placers, probably 5 or 6 this year at the tournament.
Yeah, there's a solid group of teams coming here. I believe 5, 6, 7, somewhere in there. So should be a good event on Sunday. If you want to come on out, it starts at 9 a.m., runs all day, probably until early in the evening. Thanks for joining us, and good luck this week.
Thank you.